It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
Welcome to The Sam Lesante Show, folks. We're on the road to the 2016 election, and once again, trying to bring you as much information as possible. Remember, folks, when I have guests on the show, if there's a person who is, or anyone opposing viewpoints, certainly welcome to come on the show. Today, Congressman Lou Barletta is on the show as the co-chairman for the Trump campaign. Interesting campaign, as you know, folks, but I wonder how much we're really getting in terms of true facts. So, Congressman, thanks for coming on the show.
Good to be here, Sam.
You're busy, you're traveling all over the place. I want to ask you this. I know you, I've said this before, I know you for many, many years when you're the mayor, when the city councilman, Mayor Hazelton, et cetera, et cetera. Excuse me. So your record's there, okay? If every once in a while, what Lou Barletta has done, your record's there. You build up a character, you build up a strong relationship with a lot of people in the country, and you did that through hard work, right? So now you put your reputation online here, okay? You were the first to come out to endorse Trump as a U.S. congressman, along with one of the first, along with Marino and Kelly and a lot of other people. So my point to you is, you have been with Donald Trump personally. You have been with his family. You have been with his daughters. You've been with his wife. You know, behind the scenes, okay? Tell me about Donald Trump.
Sam, it is absolutely nothing like what people have seen as him on stage, seeing him and getting to know him and his family. Totally different. Donald Trump is an executive. He talks to you with respect. He's very low-keyed. He wants to hear what you say. He doesn't talk over you. He doesn't interrupt. He doesn't act like the smartest man in the room. He's very kind. He wants to. It's just incredible. You know, in Laura Trump, I was just with Laura Trump, which is Eric Trump's wife, and she told the story of you know, herself. She came from a middle-class family in North Carolina, began dating Eric, and one day Eric said, I want you to meet my father. She was so nervous that, you know, she thought she had to go out and get her hair done, her nails done to see him. He said, no, just, you know, we're going to go as you are. And she said, when the door opened, there was Donald Trump. And she said, you know, my heart was pounding. She said, he was the kindest, most polite man. She said, he is nothing in person as what people are seeing. He is an executive, and he's a very successful executive. And every time I've been with him, he has brought in people who will help him, who he feels has expertise in something. And this is what our country, I mean, this is what really attracted me to him. He's not a politician. You know, and the media just wants to keep tearing him down because he'll say things, you know, that a politician wouldn't say. Obviously, you know, no consultant would ever tell anyone to say the things that Donald Trump has said. But he's not a politician. He's genuine. He's real. Hillary Clinton hasn't been able to tell the truth, you know, and the American people just want to hear the truth. So with his faults that he's not going to be a slick talker, he cares about this country. He told me, he said, you know, if I don't win the presidency, I've wasted my time. I don't need to be doing this. I care. I'm concerned about our country, and you know, that's what I like about him. You know, he's a real workhorse.
When you look at the commercials, okay, that Clinton, and of course, you can see what their agenda is. Go after the women, let him, you know, demean him as much as they can. You know, a lot of paid actors they're paying. You know, now you have a father coming on talking about his daughters, and I wouldn't want this guy to be the president. You have a lady who says that, you know, the way he talks about women, you know, he calls them fat, he calls them pigs, he calls them all these different things. Of course, being in this business, you get little sound bites here and there, okay? God knows if people would take us at it, sometimes when you're arguing with someone, if they take little sound bites. And I think they're trying to go after the women and saying that this guy is unfit, okay? Now, when you look at that, all right, is he unfit? Does he hate women that much?
No, quite the opposite. If you look at his organization, most of the people in his higher level jobs are all women. We've talked to the women who work for him, and they say he's the kindest man that they've ever worked for. Sam, this is the shiny object that the media has put out there to keep your eye off the real problems of our country.
Right.
So the media just wants to keep talking about any character flaws that he might have. Off the fact, I mean, the news just came out about our health care, the Affordable Care Act, and people will be paying 30-some% more and higher. That's real money to people. I mean, the decision you make will affect your income, it'll affect your children, and they want to talk about things that really aren't at the top of the priority list of the American people. Nobody, listen, I'm sure if they had cell phones and the media reported everything during the John F. Kennedy era, we might look at John F. Kennedy differently, but nobody cared what he did in his personal life. They want that person to do right by our country.
This is what I'm concerned about. I said this on my show before, and we'll touch a little bit on, if we get a chance, on the abortion issue, okay? Which is really another whole serious matter. But why do you think, like, we had some endorsements for Clinton, okay? And when and I respectfully look at those endorsements, and I say to myself, well, I see how they twist and slant, okay? Yes, I'm sure Donald has said some things that, he regrets saying, as we all do in life. But when you look at what the DNC has done, all right, and correct me if I'm wrong, where they have paid people to cause riots, okay? L.A. Tyrone said it on my show. He thought that was the most dangerous thing that you could ever imagine, that someone should be going to jail, that it was authorized, how she paid, how the DNC had Donald Duck outfits going out, trying to embarrass him, etc. You don't hear about the things of what they've done, and the WikiLeaks, all this information. How does he react to this? And I mean, how do you act?
Sam, he is doing the country a great service by shining a light on the bias in the media. At one time, the national media was really their job was to protect the American people from politicians not telling the truth, and now they've picked a side. They've picked a side. They're not even hiding it anymore. When you think of the things that Hillary Clinton has done, not the things that Donald Trump has said. They have made these things that he said like the most important issue. These are things Hillary Clinton did, lying to Congress about the emails that were destroyed. The foundation, the information that's the pay-to-play for the foundation, where the Clintons are getting richer and getting money back. Bill Clinton's getting all these speaking fees now, and how they use the State Department. If the media exposed to the public all of the things that they did, even President Obama, they just showed a tape where he lied about when he learned that Hillary Clinton was using a private server. He said he saw it in the news when everybody else did. Now they find out that he was communicating back and forth to her on that, literally lying to the American people, and the media is just covering it up.
Well, the good news here, okay, and sometimes I'm embarrassed to say the good news here, Lou, is if you look at what the reputation and how the people now in the country, this is, Google it, you'll find this information, they're down to 26% approval rating. So, you see these guys on NBC, CBS, and ABC, CBS, NBC, they come across like they're so honest, etc. And when you look at the content of what they do, okay, and when they're reporting, okay, as Newt Gingrich said the other night, okay, he said you'll spend 23 minutes on sexual things, okay, but yet you won't focus on what this person has done. And to be very honest with you, I like Megyn Kelly. I watched them. I don't know what their personal agenda. I think they really think that this guy is vulgar towards women.
I think the media is doing everything they can to make Hillary Clinton the president. I really do, Sam. I think there's a concentrated effort to, Donald Trump said something else that I think is very important just last week. He said, listen, if they can do this to me, when I have all the money in the world to fight back, and I will, what will they do to you? once we allow this media, do you realize if you let the president control the media, control the information that we get as American citizens, control the FBI and control the Justice Department, we're like a communist country.
Not only that, from what, here again, what Penn said, were these reporters are actually reporting to her before she does something. So you talk about yellow journalism, it's there, it's unfortunate. Speaking to a person who has a business in this area, the other night he was telling me about how sad it is because here, these illegals that are coming in. Now, illegals, okay, that are coming in, what you've been saying for years. They come in, they get free health care, they get free this, they get free this, they get free this. Anything that they want, they get free. We're talking illegals. Down the street, around him, there are people who have senior citizens, people who worked all their life, paying their bills, now getting clobbered with high insurances. I guess these editorials that endorse Clinton, they don't see that, okay? They don't see that they want to put people who are going to work in the coal industry out of business. They don't see that, okay? They only see whatever they're seeing. I have no idea. So here he is. He says he's in business. He sees it every day. He sees the abuse of the illegals coming in. Illegals now abusing the access cards, using our system where their parents can't even get health care, okay? Where you see Social Security getting $4 a month for all these seniors. I mean, this is a total disgrace, Lou.
I talk to senior citizens and they tell us, you know, our cost of living, where's our cost of living increase? And at the same time, Hillary Clinton's saying she wants to give people who are in the country illegally health care. You know, this is just, at what point, and Donald Trump said, I will be your voice. The people and the American people who have lost their voice, who are now being lied to by the media and politicians in Washington, and they are doing everything they can. He would be the worst thing for our media and for the establishment and politicians in Washington.
So you have a doctor who you go to, and the doctor continues to make wrong mistakes, and your people get sick, and it's the same doctor. So you go back and say, wait, this guy is bad, all right? So now what you have is you have a country here for the last 8 years. Look at it, okay? You see it in Congress, a disaster, a total disaster, okay? People struggling, people going on 29 hours because of Obamacare and all this other, everything that Dr. Greco said is actually happening today. Remember, I think you sat on the same couch with him. And so now, when you look at this total disaster, maybe I'm wrong. If this doctor has been so bad, do you keep going back to him? And then how does papers or the liberal media, okay, endorse someone saying that he's a sexist? It doesn't make sense to me.
Sam, this is like the patient is the American people.
Yeah.
You got this bad doctor who's been making bad decisions, and you go back, and now the bad doctor is telling you, you feel good.
Exactly.
You feel good.
Yeah.
Even though you're feeling worse and worse,
yeah.
He's saying, you're feeling good. Yeah. And you need to keep coming back to me because if not, you're going to get sick.
You know, it's like the community comes out, are you having fun yet? You know, and I'm sure the American people right now are so fed up with this election, they just wish it was over with. So, folks, I'm talking Lou Barletta, Congressman Barletta. He is the co-chairman for the Trump campaign in the state of Pennsylvania. Interesting facts, folks. We're going to come back and we'll talk a little bit about what else is going on. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, special edition on the road to 2016 election. Congressman Barletta is here. He's the co-chairman for the Trump campaign in the state of Pennsylvania. 24/7 SSPTV.com channel on all the channels. This show is being played on all the systems. All my friends in the Lackawanna County, all the way down to Pine Grove, outside of Harrisburg. Thanks you very much for the lot of good comments I'm getting, and some, criticism, which I don't mind. My email, sam@ssptv.com. In this endorsement from one of the papers is, but part of Clinton's low popularity flows from a level of scrutiny that rarely has been applied to a public figure over so long a period. Clearly, she has been targeted. The long, shameful Benghazi witch hunt conducted by congressional Republicans, for example, was much more about bringing Hillary Clinton down, about getting to the truth. Now, this is, a newspaper, endorsed, etc. So, you're in Congress. Is that true?
It's absolutely not true. I mean, here was Hillary Clinton and the State Department and the President lying to the American people and putting out this story that it was over a video. When Hillary Clinton went and told her daughter that it wasn't a video? Why does the media ignore the truth? And they're complicit with lying and covering up for what happened. 4 Americans were killed, and she lied to their families. These were real people, Sam. She lied to their families as to how they were killed. This is our government lying to the American people and lying to those that were involved, and then we have the media covering up for them.
Well, here again, I shake my head. I certainly I pray for Hillary Clinton every day. I really do, Lou. She needs a lot of prayers, and I think as a person she may be, but as far as where she stands. Now, she stands in other areas. So, I mean, when you look at the coal industry, they know whoever's endorsing or who is endorsing Hillary Clinton, they know one sure thing, that this lady, she becomes the president, will definitely put, she said it, put the coal industry, these people, out of business because they're going to, they failed in that energy area. They failed. We don't hear about that. But, here again, and I don't, we have, you've been up at coal, the Atlantic Carbon, et cetera, et cetera. I don't understand how you would, in your own backyard, knowing that coal and the way it's so clean today, why would you want to do that?
I'm going to a forum, as a matter of fact, tomorrow to talk about the value and importance of anthracite coal and how lucky we are to be here because of the carbon and how clean anthracite burns and the uses for it now in steel and in technology. We should be doing everything we can as a country to promote it. And then here is Hillary Clinton saying we're going to put you out of business and the people who work there.
Now, again, Lou, when you look at, you had said one time that, we're regulated by the gas stations because they could change their gas. You're paying maybe, $2.39 and all of a sudden it's $2.69, then it's $2.49, then it could be $3.50, okay? And so when people are looking at discretionary income, okay, it's like so much money we're making, all right? And so now what happens is that we're being controlled by these people who hate us. You've said that before. How vivid could that be when we have the energy that I hear again, maybe I'm stupid. I just don't understand it.
Not to be dependent on foreign countries for energy that hate us, we're in a position to actually reverse roles where other countries could be coming to us for energy. When you want to put allies together to fight a common enemy, nothing better than having your economy tied up together. And we have enough natural gas, coal and energy here that we can be a leader once again. America needs to lead again. And it just seems like our government is doing everything it can, whether it's apologizing. I just saw a letter to the editor where the president apologized to the Japanese for Pearl Harbor. I think it's time that America stops apologizing to other countries and start apologizing to the American people for letting them down.
The abortion issue, okay? We don't hear too much about this. It was addressed at the last debate. Folks, here's a picture of babies 30 or 36 weeks. They're twins. Hillary Clinton says if the mother wanted to abort these children, she could. See? So then she said it's not only that, it gets worse. As Dr. Palladaro said, and he explained what a partial birth abortion is. Before you're ready to have the baby, you can abort that baby by sucking the brains out of that baby. Yes, that's strong, okay? So as a Roman Catholic, and through the sin of omission, I cannot vote for Hillary Clinton, whether she was Democrat or Republican, because I know what she is going to do and kill unborn babies. Now, I don't want to put you on a spot, but they see what they say then. They have women. We even have Catholics. We have a Eucharistic minister who has a sign in their, I understand, supporting Clinton. If you're a Eucharistic minister, Catholic, I don't understand how you don't understand. Because here's what I hear. My wife has the right to do what she wants with her body. She does not have the right after God's creation is made. You have the right before you have sex. But once God's creation is made, Senator Hyde said, if anything happens when he's dead, when he stands before God, he's hoping that those unborn babies cry out and say, have mercy on me, because I was there to save your creation. How in God's name can you possibly say that you want to kill, if it's up to the mother? This has nothing to do with women's rights. You hear this all the time, Lou. You're not going to tell me what to do with my body. It's so untrue.
Well, you know, the sad thing about the picture, Sam, is that we know for a fact that those babies will feel pain when they're killed.
Without
Defenseless
question.
life.
Yeah.
And somehow, you know, there's nobody to speak for them. They feel pain. They will feel the pain when they're murdered. And I mean, you're talking about
Catholics, some Catholics, including maybe people who endorse them, don't care about that. That to me is the most important. That's my opinion. Okay, if you read the Democrat platform, folks, okay, it's plain and simple. Google it. Look at what the comparison between the Republican and Democrat platforms are, and I'll tell you one thing, Lou. I just can't understand it. I really can't understand.
Well, you know, we talked about some real important things. You know, the fact that we have a presidential candidate that's fine with killing a baby a couple weeks, a couple days before it's born, knowing that those babies will feel the pain of that death. We talked about coal and what it will do to our area. We talked about Benghazi. We talked about lying to the American people. But the media wants to talk about something Donald Trump said 11 years ago. If this is not a case where they are trying to control, not letting the American people hear the truth about it, both candidates, and make a decision on who their president is. They want to pick the president. They want to tell the American people, you're not smart enough to do this. We're going to pick the president, and we're going to slant the news that we give you. How dangerous is that for America when the media can slant and suppress information so that they can brainwash people into doing what they want?
I heard him saying at Gettysburg, Trump saying, if they could do this to me, what you just said before, a billionaire, could you imagine what they'll do to those poor people out there? When you're looking at this, the economy, you're looking at what you face every day in Congress, okay? The healthcare, everything is going wacky. People say, what's happening to this country? They see the abuse of welfare. They see the abuse. They're going in lines in the hospitals. They can't afford health care. There's deductions, $5,000 deductions, but yet the illegals come in, anything they want, go in there, you know, and guess what? If they didn't, the government comes down on them. Where is the justice here?
Donald Trump yesterday was speaking to blacks in Charlotte, African Americans in Charlotte, and he talks about education. The statistics. You know, where half are not graduating from school. How many are in poverty? You know, these cities are run under Democrat mayors, Democrat control. Where have they gotten? What have they done to lift those at the bottom up? But then come election time, you know, they'll say that, listen, you can't go with the other side. Their policies are bad. What has their policies done for people?
It should be reversed. Trump should have 87% of the black, 87% of Hispanics, okay? Because like you said, look where they are today. They promised so much, and they go after the African Americans and after Hispanics. Where Hillary said in WikiLeaks, didn't she call Hispanics needy?
Yeah.
Yes. You know, they're needy, okay?
Right.
So now they run to the Hispanics, but you know what? You'll continue to see the ads about him saying these things many years ago about women. Which is sad. In closing, as the co-chairman for the Trump campaign in the state of Pennsylvania, what do you tell the voters to do?
Sam, I think history is going to look back at this as a turning point for America. An America that we knew growing up, America that we wanted to be for our children and grandchildren, and a different America that Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama has taken us down, where you can't trust your government, you can't trust the information you're getting, where we're more concerned about helping those than helping people who work hard and aren't asking for anything. History will look back and say that this was a turning point, and I don't know if it can be fixed after this, because the Affordable Care Act, we won't be able to do anything after this election if Hillary Clinton gets in and expands it. Sam, no country. Hillary Clinton said she dreams of an America with open trade and open borders. No country on this earth could survive open borders and a generous welfare system like we have here in the United States. You think of this. Open borders where people can just come into the country from anywhere, and then we're going to put them on a welfare system. This country will collapse It will not survive. And then she wants to allow those people that come into the country illegally to become citizens. This country will not survive within 5 years of that because financially we won't be able to. This country is at a turning point. You may not like some of the things Donald Trump has said, but he is not a politician. I'm scared to death of the things that Hillary Clinton will do.
Well, Lou, thanks for coming on the show as always. Folks, just check the facts. I've said this. I'm not going to be a hypocrite, folks. I pray for Hillary every day. I really do. I'm sure she's a nice person, but I don't want to see what she's doing for abortion. I want to tell you something, folks. For you Catholics, Roman Catholics, I don't care what you say, how you do it, how you slant it, okay? She's killing unborn babies, and it's not women's care, folks. Don't even think of that for one moment. We all have to answer when we're dead. And if you think you're going to live for a long time, I think you're wrong, all right? And you turn around and you say to yourself, my God, what's happening to this country? Well, you saw what's happening to this country. Sometimes when people, I ask you to check facts. Everything that Mr. Barletta said, check the facts. And you'll see for yourself why the media is down to 26% and why people are turning them off, because they're actually lying to you. We'll see you next time.